Getting a little drunk there, my friend.
Well, my wife used to have this is called a Greyhound. My wife used to drink this one.
You might need it for what we're going to talk about. So we were talking about great books, specifically one book in the previous podcast we just recorded. I want to talk to you about a book that hasn't quite had enough time to be great, or it hasn't stood the test of time because not enough time has elapsed since it came out.
Yeah.
But it is arguably one of the most popular books of all time.
Yeah.
And it's a book series called Harry Potter. Have you heard of it?
Of course I've heard of it. I actually have gone to Rollins's pub that she frequented in Edinburgh, where she wrote the damn thing. Yeah. And
so I take it you don't too terribly favor it?
Actually, I'm Switzerland about this one. I really am Switzerland about this. I see a great deal of influence towards the transcendent things, but I think they're the wrong transcendent things. Okay, that's my take on it. And I know I'm in a majority of critiques on this. A lot of the critics have the same view that I have, and so I want you to talk me out of it. Actually,
I'll do my best.
I'd like you to talk me out of it, because that's my take. Is that while she does talk about magic and she does present the transcendental thing, there's much more to this world than the material realities, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because
right.
Literally millions of kids around the world, all the way into college level, are addicted to Harry Potter this, Harry Potter that. They've seen all the movies, all this business, and they adore Radcliffe, and they even watch him when he's naked. And no, he did.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah. So this has become a fetish for your generation. Talk me out of my Swiss.
Okay, first of all, fetish is not the right word. What they refer to the mega fans, they call them Potterheads. What does that tell you? Like, fetish is not good enough. Is
that distinct from potheads? Is pothead the same thing? No.
Very little difference. Very little
subtle nuance.
So I read through the books. I want to tell you the world I grew up in.
Yeah, please do.
Very, very conservative household. A lot of people in my community, they banned the Harry Potter books. And it was a very common thing. And it was not just me, it was nationwide. A lot of groups, some libraries would ban it from their kids because it taught witchcraft. And no joke, that was the reason why.
Well, I'm from Salem, Massachusetts. It's a witch city, so I love the witch stuff. I loved all that stuff.
I mean, it's not like the people who really understood. And when I actually read the books, I go, it's not really that bad in that regard. Yeah. I knew where they were coming from, but I think that their opinions were a little uninformed. But anyway, I wasn't allowed to read it till I was 16, so everyone else had digested it, read it, watched all the movies, yada, yada, yada. So I just got on the train. And what really made her so popular is that she's a good writer. You read it, it's a real page turn. What happens next? I want to know what happens next.
Well, she's great at constructing characters.
Oh yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
Really, the partitions between the characters and the character development is superb.
Oh, I know. Exactly. So, in my opinion, the reason why it's so popular was for those two reasons. It's because she's a great writer, and because she's great at character development, and she's also really made an interesting world, which is a very, very common, from basically since Tolkien, the idea of world building in your fiction books. Yeah. He popularized that idea, but she took it away in a direction that nobody else had done. Going to school could be magical. Whoa, I mean, it was really revolutionary at the time. Now it's very much played out, but for her time, when it came out, it was mine, especially for the kids that were in school, and they could read this for fun. I mean, of course, it was going to be an addiction. It was, almost a meth addiction. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, now that those are the positives on the meta side. The
transcendental side. The transcendental.
Yeah. What the aftermaths. Now, culturally, what were the implications of this? They gave my generation a hero. Somebody who does the right thing, but he's not perfect. He's flawed. He gets mad. He's not a fluffy fake person. He feels like a real
He's a kid.
person
He's a kid.
that anyone that kids can relate to. It would and now let me get into some things that even the fans are upset about. Is J.K. Rowling? She keeps changing her books. She keeps doing it. Well, I mean, she has all these sort of silly tweets. Like, for example,
she keeps changing her mind about her own book.
Exactly. For example,
about what it means. Yeah.
Like for example, who Harry Potter falls in love with at the end. I think she changed her mind. Like, oh, I wish it was Hermione instead of Ginny. And all the fans are like, yeah, we all said yeah. The newest thing that one thing that she did is she announced that Dumbledore was really gay. Yes, the whole time.
Oh, you have to have a gay aspect of it, don't you?
Yeah.
She's a very liberal writer, which is
fine. Here's the newest one. Here's the newest one. Is that
he's transsexual?
No. For a
Harry
long
Potter
time,
was a transsexual.
Better than that. For a long time, before the wizarding world decided to adopt indoor plumbing, the wizards would just poop on the floor and use magic to make it disappear. Oh. She actually bothered to write that. Like, do we care to know that? Yes. She said that. She tweeted this out. Yes. And so it's kind of the point.
It's funny how famous writers, when they become famous, and she rose from ignominy and poverty to become famous.
Literally a welfare recipient.
They get fascinated by excrement. It's really strange.
Well, you see, she my opinion is she wrote 7 great books for one story. Yeah. And then the movies came out for each one, 2 for the last, and they were great. Everything was happy, great. And she has the same problem that George Lucas has with Star Wars.
Yes.
You can't fix perfection. Stop fix. If it's good, don't break it. Right. And so she tried a little thing as an anonymous writer, and that didn't really take off. She wrote some screenplays about, prequels, and now you'll love this. She actually wrote a book based on a textbook.
Of what?
In the Harry Potter series, she wrote a book that's basically a textbook, and she effectively wrote it so Warner Brothers could make a movie about it, a movie about the textbook.
A textbook about Harry Potter?
Yeah, like one of the books Harry Potter would use.
Oh, I see.
She wrote a book about a textbook.
That he would use. Okay.
So what drives the fans crazy is that they want more Harry Potter stuff, and she keeps giving. It's kind of like the problem that Star Wars fans have. They want more Star Wars stuff, and George Lucas gave them more Star Wars stuff, and they didn't like it.
Well, you have to admit, though, the predicate of the book is magic, okay? Yeah. And the allure of magic, the reason why I think children like Harry Potter so much is because there's an infinite series of movies and books and plays that can be done on the fact that what is magic? Magic is the falsification of the way things really work in physics, okay? And what child has not gone through the experience of wishing they could do magical things like fly, right? Or see through a wall or something of that nature. So that's why Superman and, not Batman, but Superman, people who have supernatural powers, she latched onto that, and that was a sure winner. That was brilliant of her. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Now, have I told you enough nice things?
Yeah.
Okay, now it's time I tell you some things I don't like.
You got 2 minutes.
Okay, things I don't like. Okay, well, really, I wish I could rag more on Harry Potter, but it's a genuinely well-written story. What I'm going to rag on is the fact that it was great for a one read. I'm consistently shocked by the amount of people who say they're on their 4th or 5th or 6th reading of the entire series.
Oh my God, are you kidding?
I'm not kidding. I meet these people all the time, and I'm going, look, one read was great, but I got everything I'm probably going to get out of it after one. There's not much more.
I've read Plato's Republic 9 times, but I can keep reading it. But that's interesting.
Well, the thing, Plato's Republic is a philosophical work that specifically has depth to it. Harry Potter, it does have depth, but you don't. I mean, beyond a high school education or even college education, you're going to get that depth.
Okay, well, I'm going to wrap it up here with this. Okay, here's my wrap up. Okay, the value of Harry Potter is it's for kids who love magic and for adults who are still kids. Is that fair?
interpret that as a good or bad thing. You decide, listeners.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks. And cheers to everyone out there. Read Harry Potter 17
all,
times.
all the Potterheads out there, share this video. Even if you hate Harry Potter, share this video anyway.
Especially in Japan. We're big in Japan.
So is Harry Potter. So is Harry Potter.